Hello? Check, check, check. Hello? Um, hey, there I am. It was on delay. Okay. Hey, guys. Let me just check a couple of things. All right. Let me check and make sure I've got audio. Then we'll get this underway. We'll give it a minute for people to join and kind of go from there. Need to turn my camera just a little bit, I think, but I ain't worried about it. All right, let's do this. Need to turn my camera just a little bit, I think, but okay, just making sure everything is working here. All right, how we doing this evening, guys? I see we got Kyle joined. We got Mr. Stuart Ferris on with us as well. Good evening, fellas. I'm a little tardy, but hopefully we are going to be a little less glitchy this evening, so bear with me. Got a new camera set up here, so hopefully this pans out better than my last attempt at a live with let's see, yeah, need to make it go that way a little bit. I'm gonna fix my camera real quick, guys. I'm a tad off center. Let's see how that looks. And yeah, that's better. Okay. Just for the record, since I'm doing this on YouTube, I used to have a software that would kind of track how many people I had on, but it was crap, really. So I gave it up because I only used it once in a while. So, but let me get back to my stream. There we are. Okay. All right. All right. So we got two guys talking, and everybody else is tight-lipped. Looks like we got four on. So, hey guys, if you joined the chat, give me a holler, say hello, so I know you're on, and just let me know you're here, so we can hang out, and I can say hello. But just wanted to do a quick live tonight. Kind of do a little catching up. Tell you what I've been up to, and what I've not been up to, and that's fishing. But we'll get to that. But basically, let me go back to my notes here. So, you got to write a script if you want these things to make any kind of sense. So, all right. Well, we're up to a big four. Hey, Patrick Stone, how you doing? Man, I'm telling you what. How's there we go. There's a couple more jumping in. Jeremy Reidelberger, how you doing? St. Charles, Missouri. Patrick Stone down there in way down yonder in Mississippi. How's the fishing going down there, buddy? They spawning yet? I'm sure the water's muddy as all get out. That's to be expected in Mississippi, so I hear. Not that I've been there, but I've heard. So, but no, we're just doing a little checking in tonight, saying hello, and just basically telling you what I'm up to, and figure we'd talk a little fishing, little pre-spawn, post-spawn, whatever you want to talk about. I don't care. As long as it's good, clean family fun, right? So, but So basically, in light of the fact that, and I'm doing this live because I really don't have any new, new or even old video content to put out right now. Um, so I figured I'd do a live tonight and then kind of tell you what I'm up to this weekend. There's some interesting stuff going on. So, but I haven't really been fishing for a couple of reasons. Okay, Patrick. I was on Grenada yesterday. Fish are on fire. Oh, that's good. That's a good one. Case of mistaken identity. So it's not the Patrick Stone from Mississippi. It's the Patrick Stone from Indiana. Well, regardless, welcome. I know there was a tournament down there this past weekend, and I guess the fish were. I hear the fish were really shallow, and then a couple of storm fronts come through, and it got colder, and it kind of scattered them. Is my understanding, but fish are on fire. But I'm the other Patrick, so we're gonna have to come up with a name for you for that. Alter the alternative Patricks. That's funny. Sorry for the case of mistaken identity, man. But anyway, I hope you had a good time down there. I've always been told it's a lot of fun, but I just haven't quite gotten there yet. We had a trip headed there last summer, and it didn't work out. And I'll spare you the details on that, but it didn't happen after we were in transit, and it didn't happen. So truck issues, you know. But so anyway, no. In light of the fact that I don't have any new content coming up, I figured I'd jump on, do a little live, tell you what I'm up to this weekend. There's going to be some interesting goings on. I hope you tune in for. Um, so basically, there's this guy in Decatur, Illinois, who kind of tricked me into going to Texas this week. um, Not that he tricked me into it. I really wanted to go, but it was a situation where I uh, I had honeydews to do, and if I didn't get my honeydews done during my week off this week, that there were going to be consequences that were unpleasant, if you will. So I kind of got a head start on said honeydews this weekend, and most of it's done. Basically, the project, one of the projects is we're building a catio. We're gonna have a little place for our cats to go outside and hang out and not have to worry about them getting run over by a car or scooped up by a hawk or eaten by a coyote or something. So um, and I got the most of that framed out yesterday. Weather was kind of crappy today, and we had some running to do, so no progress today. But should have it all together by the time I leave to go to Fort Worth, Texas on Wednesday. I'm leaving on Thursday, um, so hopefully that's still a go. But we'll I've had to give up a weekend. I could have went fishing maybe today or yesterday. Yesterday would have been the better day, even though it was raining because it was warmer. But it was kind of a crappy weekend here in the Midwest. So anyway, this guy talked me into going down to Texas, and basically there is a hello, hello. I'm on a stream, guys. Thank you. Got background noise. So anyway, the what's going on in Texas is there is another edition of the National Fishing Show in Fort Worth, Texas. It's this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm leaving Thursday. It's about a 10-hour drive for me, so um, I'm leaving Thursday morning. Get there, do the show Friday and Saturday, then I'll have to be headed back home on Sunday. But the so yeah, I've been meeting a lot of cool people and a lot of making new contacts and stuff. And that's really what this is about. Is it's about helping to grow the YouTube channel, if you will. So and things have started growing nicely, getting a lot of viewership. So um, my mission this weekend is again just to make contacts and uh, what have you, meet some cool people. I don't have a cowboy hat anymore, but I might wear my boots. You never know. But and no, by the way, Mr. Sharp, uh, no trip to Dallas Fort Worth is complete without a stop at the Cattleman's Steakhouse. So notes, put it in your notes. Even if I have to go by myself, I'm going. So but so it ought to be a lot of fun. And on top of that, I've been to several of these shows now, and they're a good time. Meet a lot of cool people, and different. It's not all about crappie fishing. It's bass. It's catfish. It's walleye in some cases. So uh, whatever floats your boat. But it's a really good time, and if you're in the DFW area and you're interested, please stop by and say hello. Tell them Panfish Guy sent you. but but there is a rumor floating around that um, I will have the last couple of shows. Like one of the shows, I didn't do any interviews or anything, but some I have, but it appears I'm going to have an opportunity. At least that's the rumor, to sit down with a big time. I mean, a big time YouTube guy uh, who shall remain unnamed until that happens. But still got to firm up some details. But um, I'm gonna be able to sit down, get maybe probably not exclusive, but an interview, and sit down and just shoot breeze and have a little chat at the Brush Pile Jigs booth. So that'll be fun. And then also, as part of that whole deal, excuse me. Also, a secondary rumor is that there will be a big YouTuber who's going to be doing a seminar show. If you look at the show's schedule right now, he is not listed on there, but I think they had some openings that he'll be filling. Um, so if you can do me a favor on Friday, Friday or Saturday around 5 p.m. Central Time, uh, check out either. I'm gonna basically his seminar. If it happens, I'm going to live stream um, on Friday. I'm going to live stream it uh, on Facebook, on Brushpile Jigs Facebook page, on my Facebook page, which is Panfish Guy on Facebook, and then also on my724outdoors.com Facebook page. And so it'll be kind of spread around. So uh, keep an eye out for that. I'll run it live there, and then I'll probably try to record as well, and then repost it at a later time on my YouTube. Um, Also, I will be um, for the seminar I mentioned. Excuse me. for the seminar I mentioned, my understanding is it's going to be both Friday and Saturday around 5 p.m. So, y'all still with me? Have I put you to sleep yet? You ain't talking very much. But anyway, the uh, the seminar on Friday, I'll be streaming on Brushpile Jigs, my724outdoors.com, and my Panfish Guy Facebook page. On Saturday, if it happens again on Saturday, which I'm understanding it will, I will be live streaming that seminar on here on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So there will be there might be other surprise things that pop up that we might sit down and do a interview for. So the weekend's going to be kind of fluid, So we'll see how it goes. But that I'm telling you, this guy is huge. So if we get to all right, thanks, Jeremy. I just didn't want anybody to go to sleep on me, but this YouTube guy is huge. Not like me, not an amateur, but I mean he's big, big, big. So, and you'll enjoy what he has to say. He has a really positive message. Great guy. I met him down at the Crappie Expo in Branson this past year, and is super, super nice guy. So if you guys get a chance, get on and check those out, or they'll be posted on the page as well. So excuse me, I gotta start doing these earlier so I don't yawn the whole time. And Stuart's making more ice cream snacks. Go figure. That guy likes his ice cream. That's all I can say. But yeah, it's so anyway, yeah, going to Dallas this weekend, or Thursday actually. So ought to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. Never been to Texas before, so never know. I might run over a Longhorn or something. So have a story to bring back home with me. So, but I don't reckon it's deep in the heart of Texas, but I don't know if anybody ever saw that old Bugs Bunny cartoon, but I think it's a little deep in the heart is a little farther south than Dallas Fort Worth. But anyway, ought to be a lot of fun regardless. So so definitely check those out this weekend, and I'll try to, as Friday progresses. As Friday, I'll let you know about that in a second, Kyle. So as Friday progresses, I'll probably do a little pop in and maybe post like a live link thing when things firm up a little bit. But uh, something should happen. I don't know what it's going to be, but something should happen. So uh, we'll leave it at that for the moment. And Kyle asked me, he says, are you burning up all your vacation time before crappie season? Well, I guess my question back to you, Kyle, is when is it not crappie season? Uh, I don't know. I mean, I usually take February off, and in particular this year because I've been doing the fishing shows, kind of running that circuit, and that's been a lot of fun. Lee kind of asked me to come help out on a couple of things, and there's a couple of them at least one of them that I just showed up for that, unsolicited, but it's been a good time. It's been a learning experience. Been meeting a lot of cool people, and I've actually run into. There you go. run into some followers and stuff at a couple of the events, and made some new followers. So it's been a lot of fun. But and then Kyle said, to answer your question, Kyle. So uh, am I burning all my vacation time before spring spawn? I edited that part. So um, no, not really. The this coming week, and actually I've only got 3 days off. This coming week is let's see, it's spring break for the kid from school, and normally the wife and I both take off the week of spring break when she was in high school and or even junior high, and we'd take a family trip, and with COVID and all the business going on the last few years, we haven't really done that, but we usually still take the time off. So, and I'm lucky enough to have uh, a rather substantial amount of vacation through the year. So I can take, basically I get like 5 weeks plus 3 days or something like that, 28 days a year. Um, so it is, but yeah, I typically use a lot of it in the spring, a lot of my vacation in the spring, but I can only get away with so much with, because I got to have people cover for me and other people want vacation. So, um, but I'll probably use 3 weeks of it this spring, and then the other 2 weeks toward the end of the year, something like that. Um, uh, but like so after this coming weekend, like I'm taking 3 days off this week, and then I'm back to work for a week, and then the last week of March, I'm taking 3 more days at the beginning of the week, and I'm going down to Pickwick Lake. So we're going south, um, and so hopefully we'll bump into some. I don't know if it's going to be spawn down there or what. I know uh, my buddy that I'm going with had been there a couple of times before, and he went with guys who would do the side pulling thing. Basically, pull jigs off the side of the boat, and that's always I'm always interested in new different ways of doing stuff, right? So that side pulling thing would be something cool, but it is going to be content for the channel. The guide we're going with has agreed to let me film it. So and then we got a bonus, maybe a skipjack thing we're going to do too. So should be a lot of fun. But that's part of that, and then I've got another 3 days in mid-April, and then I got a week in June that I'm taking. But so not burning all of it right away, but getting close to it, if you will. So, but yeah. So like I say, to pull off the Texas thing, I kind of had these honeydews to do, right? So um, I've I've kind of put my head down this weekend, started working on that, getting some progress made, so that I can pull this off. So and what else we got? But spring spawn, a lot of April, except well, yeah, a lot of April. I'm going to be around home, so I've got I've got these lakes around me that are just full of crappie that need me to come hang out with them. So I'm gonna go hang out with them, and I'm bringing these guys. So uh, me and brush pile jigs are gonna do some damage this spring, and then also got a little thing I'm gonna do. Was one particular lake that for some reason I can't. I can get fish to bite jigs like occasionally. So I've got a I've got a plan to kind of get around it, because they really like minnows, and you get over their brush piles, and I put a minnow rig down on them, and boy, they'll suck that up all day. But jigs, they don't seem to be as aggressive towards, and so I've got a couple of things I'm going to try out with them as far as maybe tipping tipping those jigs. So you'll see more and I'm going to feature a product I ran across a while back that's gonna maybe help me in that endeavor. So because I'd really like to not have to like not have to carry minnows with me all the time. If I can pull off just straight jigs, it'd be awesome. But uh, like I say, I get one or two to bite, and then they just rest of the day they just kind of sit there and look at that jig, So and that could be a combination of backing off the pile, swimming over the top of it, which I do anyway, but maybe I'm too close. I don't know, and the water's too clear. But we'll tackle that when we get around to it. But once I come back from the trip to Pickwick, I'm going to be posting content from that as soon as I can get it done. It'll be a little bit to get through all that footage and get some good stuff together instead of just throwing out a crappy video. So, and then from there forward, April's going to be fish, 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 fish. So we'll have a lot of new content coming out, a lot of stuff, some guests. So we're going to be having a lot of fun this spring, and so the um, yeah, so like I say, we're gonna have a lot happening in April, but um, what else I got? So kind of the reason for like I should have had some video the last few weeks, but with circumstances being what they are, so I talked about I went to the Columbus Fishing Show in Columbus, Ohio, and what I haven't talked about really is that I had some issues with my truck, got it back from the body shop, and as I'm driving back from Columbus, I start hearing this in the rear end, and the rear end was replaced after my last incident, and it was a recycled rear end that was installed in the truck, and the farther I drove, the louder it got, and so there's something amiss in the rear end on that thing. So as soon as I got it home, I ran it up to the body shop or the local Chevy dealer, and I said, "Hey, can you get a look at this?" And they're like, "Yeah, your rear end's pretty much got to be rebuilt, and you are it's going to be X amount of dollars." I don't even want to talk about the money on it, but I was like, well, this is a recycled rear end that State Farm had installed from last summer, and there should be warranty on it. And they're like, well, so we're jumping through all the hoops and everything and getting that rectified. But in the meantime, Old Boy Outdoors, good evening. Thanks and looking forward to seeing new fishing videos. Likewise, we're like I say, I was just explaining why I don't have any real new ones, but so like I say, we're jumping through hoops with the insurance to get that situation rectified. But of course, uh, working for an insurance companies are not how do you say it? Not super fast to react or what have you, but Kyle, you should have. Yeah, yeah, darn right should have. Maybe next season when you do that, I would be down for that. Hey Vic, how you doing? Victor Slimmer is on, the fish fry guy. But yeah, so we're we're in process of trying to get the truck refixed, if you will. In the meantime, I'm like, I don't have a truck to go fishing with. What the hell is this, right? So um, I made an executive decision, and I had been kind of, yeah. My wife had told me when I got the truck back the first time that I should have traded it in, and of course I should have listened to her because she was absolutely right. uh, and then, but I sat on it because I was looking at newer truck prices, and I was like, this is just ridiculous. I can't afford this, right? So even because I probably wasn't gonna get what I owed on what I own now, or what I still owe on it. Plus add 30 grand or 50 grand or 70 grand to that price, and it just wasn't gonna happen. So, um, but I guess prices have moderated a little bit, and I found a uh, decently priced truck that didn't have a shit ton of miles on it. Pardon my French, and didn't. Excuse me. I gotta grab something real quick. Be right back, guys. Oh, where'd it go? Ah, here we are. Don't mind me. My nose trying to run away. Okay, that'll suffice for the moment. Uh, so anyway, I found a decently priced truck that didn't have a ton of miles on it, and I just went ahead and took the leap, and uh, I borrowed money from my 401k and bought it, uh, which makes more sense than borrowing it from the bank because when I borrow it from the 401k, I'm paying myself back. But at the same time, my weekly my weekly discretionary money is going down, down, down until I get out from under the other truck. So uh, I'm in the process of. No, it wasn't French, was it, Victor? Yeah, but yeah. So until I get out from under that other truck, I'm going to be a little a little on the broke side. Although I've got some reserves with my income taxes coming in and stuff like that. So I'll make it through all my fishing adventures this spring. But if it goes beyond then, I'm going to be hurting. But anyway, uh, I got a 17 Ram Bighorn, Victor. Yes, what I bought, and it's much like the 2007 Ram that I had, just 10 years newer, and I like it. So haven't driven it a whole bunch yet because I've still got a rental car for my. Uh, I've got a rental car for my other truck that uh, the State Farm's paying for. So I'm like, hey, just drive this and leave the other one to sit. But been been hauling a little material for our project, so it's handy for that. But haven't even hooked it up to the boat yet. But with all the stuff going on, I need to pause on the fishing stuff. Although I did get my carport organized where I can actually get the boat out of there now, so that's good. But yeah, so it's been an adventure, but that's why I really haven't done anything the last few weeks as far as fishing. There were some really nice days. Plus, uh, last weekend we had the Crappie Fest, and that was a lot of fun. Let me tell you. Um, so um, our friends at Brushpile Jigs and uh, well, it's not about the dollars, Victor. It's about the friendship, right? So you don't need to pay me nothing. You might buy minnows or something, no? So I'll take you up on that. But um, yeah, so the Krabby Fest was a lot of fun. So the our friends at Brushpile Jigs and Lake Shelbyville Guide, who's Steve Welch. They put together an event, and I don't know if that was the first year or not, but by golly, it shouldn't be the last because it was a blast. Um, but basically, what they did was they put together a small, if you will, fishing show, basically centered around Shelbyville Lake. Um, the Fishing Foundation. I see where you're going with that. I see where you're going with that, man. But the uh, but basically the the event was centered around Shelbyville Lake. It was held in Sullivan, Illinois, and it was uh, basically a fundraiser for the Lake Shelbyville. The Lake I may not be saying it right. Lake Shelbyville or Shelbyville Lake um, Habitat Alliance. And basically, what that group does is they build fishing structures, and it's kind of neat what they do too. They build structures to uh, put habitat in Shelbyville Lake. And for those who haven't been there, and I haven't been there much, but I learned a ton this weekend. Uh, Apparently, a lot of the natural structure that's been in the lake for years it has degraded to the point where it's kind of rotted away. So stumps that were in the lake previously and or brush piles, what have you. A lot of that stuff is kind of gone by the wayside. So uh, the Habitat Alliance is putting in not only artificial structure, but they're putting rock in certain places, stone stuff, But um, that event basically was to raise funds for that Habitat Lake Shelbyville Habitat Alliance, and it's just held at American Legion. They didn't, wasn't a bunch going on, wasn't like a bunch of national vendors. There was all local folks, and man, was it a lot of fun. And they had a fish fry. It was $5 to get in, $5 donation to get in, and all the donations and or the vendor fees. So I had a little booth, and the yeah, it was a very good event. I really liked it. I want to go back because it was a lot of fun. And I got to talk to like 3 of the 5 guides that were at the event and kind of learn from them. And then they did a Q&A with 5 guides on stage later in the show. Kind of close things out, and I recorded that, and I actually posted it on Facebook. So, or on, I'm sorry, on YouTube here. So if you're interested in learning about Shelbyville Lake, that is a really good video to watch as far as crappie fishing and or walleye fishing goes. You will learn a lot from that video. So you should definitely check it out. Uh, you know, oh boy, oh boy asked me, did Crab Orchard ever get back to pool, or is the water still low? Um, and I don't know if you're referring to when they had the water down last year or not, but yeah, it came back up. We had a big rain event. I want to say, but actually before they finished the All right. Well, thanks, Jeremy. You have a safe trip wherever you're headed, man. And yeah, definitely, it's going to be some live stuff coming from this weekend, and then a little ways out, we're going to start having a lot more content. So hopefully I've got it stacked up and just waiting to come out every week. If I get enough, maybe I'll do 2 a week. You never know. That's pretty busy for me though. So, but be safe, man. And no, so on your crab orchard question, they drew it down last year to do maintenance around the lake on the dam and or some of the boat ramps. And last April, I think it was supposed to be low like all summer until they were done, or until they were done, whichever came first. And the we had a big rain event, and I think it was in April, and the lake shot up to like normal pool. But they did lower it back down for a little bit to finish up their work. But it was at pool most of last summer, and then it was down a little bit over the winter. But right now it's probably above above pool because we've had a couple of big rain events, and it's full. If you drive by on 13, uh, if you drive by on Highway 13, you'll see it's full. So yeah, there's plenty of water in there right now. A lot of it's muddy too because like I say, we had a lot of rain in a short amount of time. Like two different days that happened, and yeah, so there's a lot of new water in the lake. But where was I? Oh, so anyway, yeah, just to finish up with uh, the crappie fest thing, that was a lot of fun, and definitely want to do that again. Uh, let's see. So Victor asked, you going to try to fish for walleye up there? I'm assuming you mean. I don't even think I mentioned it, but are you talking about Truman, or I don't think I mentioned Truman, but the one I did mention was Pickwick, and Pickwick's crappie thing. It's it's strictly uh, it's strictly going to be crappie fishing, except for uh, we've got two days with a guide, and then in the evenings, my buddy Carl wants to do some. He wants to go to the tailwater down there and fish for skipjack, and that's basically he wants to take some skipjack back home for catfishing later this year. So um, that's his plan, and that ought to be fun. Just try to film something a little different, So that should be fun. Uh, but no walleye on that. There is a chance. I don't know. I've got a buddy that lives in Lincoln, Illinois, that wants to do some. Basically, he's angling to try to maybe start a guide service down at down at Bull Shoals Lake, and he wants me to come down and maybe do some walleye fishing with him. Film it. Oh, it's Shelbyville. Okay, I gotcha. Um, well, that would be a thought, Victor. I think they approach that a little different than what I'm geared for right now, but I do have to maybe watch that video over again. Um, all right, old boy, have a good evening. Yeah, I've got 5:30 on my alarm for tomorrow, so I definitely gotta peel out of here in a bit. So thanks for watching. Have a good evening. But yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch that video again if I want to, if I want to kind of refresh myself on what they said about because it was mostly focused around crappie fishing, but there were some mentions of walleye. And we're actually going fishing with one of those guys down at Kentucky Lake in down at Kentucky Lake in late April, and I understand walleye is good in like May and June. So you never know. That's not on my calendar for any reason. I do have a. I did tentatively schedule a tournament at Shelbyville. That's for the Fallen Outdoors. As one of the groups that was at the Crappie Fest last weekend, and basically it's a veterans group that takes veterans out on excursions, hunting, fishing, stuff like that. So I volunteer with the AmVets Outdoors group, and I thought, well, maybe I'll do that one too. And then come to find out, they have an associated tournament at Ren Lake the same weekend. So um, it's not a fundraiser for their group. It's a scholarship thing for uh, one of their volunteers, one of their members that passed a couple years back, and is a good cause. But I've got a conflict, so I guess I'm going to do the Shelbyville one. So, but it'll be a good time. Like I said, I'm trying to soak up as much knowledge as I can about Shelbyville, just for the purposes of maybe trying to at least catch a fish or two for that for that tournament, if nothing else. It's not that I want to win it or anything, and if I did win anything, I'd give it right back. So, but it would be, it'd be nice to catch a few. The last one of those I did, it didn't work out very well. So, but still learning on stuff like that. So, uh, but yeah, definitely if you're into learning about Shelbyville, you need to look up that video for the. I think I titled it Guide Q&A, but it's under my Panfish Guy Live check-in thing. So you should be able to find it pretty easy. It's one of the more recent ones. But trying to think what else I got to say. Oh, I don't know what all you got. What else you guys got? Looks like a couple of us are are peeling off here. I think Mo Fisher's going with us. You asked about Mo Fisher, Victor. He's going with us uh, to Truman Lake. It's going to be me, Stuart, and Mo Fisher, and we're gonna be up there crappie fishing for a few days. 3 days, 4 days, I don't remember. But 12th through the 16th of April, and that ought to be fun. We're gonna try to hook up with Mr. Tucker and his crew and see if they can't show us some good spots and show us how not to mess up my boat, because I hear that lake's good for messing up boats if you're not careful. So, um, but that should be a ton of fun and good food to boot, and more to come on that. We're gonna do a bunch of video on that one. So, uh, but anything else, guys? Oh, Kyle says Kyle says he grew up near Lincoln. Yeah, my buddy's originally from Glen Carbon, but he married a girl that is a teacher up there. So he's he's away, but he's got a little place down there in Arkansas, and like I say he wants to start guiding down there. But he figured maybe some video would help him get started. So we're gonna try to do a little promo thing, and that's about all I got. That's all I got to say about that. But Anything else, guys, before I wrap this up? I think that's going to cover it for me. If you get a chance. Oh, and there was an announcement this week. Oh, we got fishing is my drug. Everfish Silver Lake and Highland. Yes, I used to bank fish up there because I'm originally from Glen Carbon, Illinois. So that's like, you know, 20 minutes from there, 25 minutes, I guess. And we used to bank fish up there quite a bit. It's mostly catfishing, but years and years ago, uh, I used to fish at the the small lake. It's like the, I guess, Little Silver Lake, if you will. That's in the park area, and if you drove around to the back side of the lake before you got to like where the boat ramp is for the big lake, um, there's a little pavilion there, and if you walk to the edge, basically down to the water, straight down that little hill coming out of that pavilion, there's a point there, and I used to sit and fish off that point and just throw out as far as I could with minnows and catch the dickens out of crappie. And man, that's been I'm talking. This is in the 80s, yeah, probably in the 80s, yeah. And I haven't. I went there once, like maybe 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, in my boat, and I put on it. I bought a day pass and I went up there and I fished for maybe like half a day, and I spider rigged a little bit, and then I just kind of pounded the bank. I got like up above, was it? Yeah, just a little bit up above uh, where Highway 70 crosses, and went under the bridge and kind of out around to the left, and there's a shoreline along there. I fished that shoreline and caught a ton of little crappie, 8 inch crappie. I just caught them all day. But the spider rigging, I caught a few spider rigging, but I was kind of out in the middle of the lake, and I I probably wasn't doing the right thing at that particular time, but I started fishing the bank, and I was catching them right and left. But I hear, um, and um, I hear that it's a great red ear and bluegill lake. Uh, I've I've actually have a mutual friend who sent me a picture of some guys went out there that he knew went out there a couple years ago, and they like one set of beds they caught like 400 400 bluegill and red ear off of. It was ridiculous, you know. So I hear it's a good bite for that, but I understand, you know, my experience is the crappie are pretty small. Now there's probably some nice ones in there, but you know, we used to fish. I used to fish catfish where they used to have some docks down from where the boat ramp is, and I don't know if they're still there or not, but I'd sneak out there and fish off those docks and catch some nice catfish. And then there's a little cove down to the right of the boat ramp, and you just go crappie fish over there. Again, we're catching 7, 8, 9 inch fish. You know, they weren't much for size, but there was a lot of them. That's for sure. Um, but it has been a minute, so I'd like to think that fishery is getting better, but it's, you know, it's a pretty good hike for me to get back. It's 2 hours to get back there now, where, you know, I've got a ton of lakes right around me now, so I'm I think I'm gonna save my gas and fish around here because there is some good fishing here. So, um, but that's what I know about that. Uh, or how's that go? That's all I got to say about that. Uh, but I think unless you guys got more questions, and please do throw them at me if you got more. I think I'm going to wrap it here, but I do. Oh, there was an announcement this week, though. Uh, my buddies, two guys that I know, they got married this week. Well, I don't know if you want to call it married, but they got associated this week. How about that? So, uh, our friends at, again, Brush Pile Jigs. Can you see it? Can you see it? I can make it closer. Brush Pile Jigs and my buddy Ray, with who I've known forever. Uh, Forever is like 2 years, right? Because we're not that old. And uh, they partnered up, and Brush Pile Jigs is going to be. Did Bernie catch any fish? Hey SK, how you doing, man? Uh, so anyway, our buddies at Brush Pile Jigs and My 724s got together, and Brush Brush Pile Jigs is now the official soft crappie plastics for my724outdoors.com. And if you haven't checked out either one, you should. I love these jigs. I can't get enough of them. And my buddy Ray with My724, he's got a nice product. Everything's free. All you got to do is just go out and check it out. But it's good stuff. So I'm glad those two got together on that, though, because that kind of gives me a warm fuzzy feeling inside, right? But and answered, and so we have our buddy SK from SK's Crappie Catching Adventures. I always stumble over that, but he's joined us this evening. How you doing, sir? And in answer to your question, Bernie's not watching his polls. He's commented on the picture, the cover picture that I had for the live tonight. I had a picture of Bernie Sanders sitting in front of a boat spider rigging, but he wasn't watching his polls. He had his back to the polls. And you know what happens? Every time you turn your back to your poll, what happens? You get a bite, right? So I'm sure he got bit, but he didn't catch any because he wasn't paying attention. I know some guys like that too. But uh, if you guys haven't, anybody that's still on, you need to holler at SK. SK's Crappie Catching Adventures on YouTube. He's got a Facebook. What's your Facebook? I know you got I think you got a group and a group and your own page too. But if you can tell us, promo your page, man. Tell them what you got. But if any of y'all are ever down in the Houston area and want to hook up with a top-notch crappie fishing guide, he's your guy. You need to go check him out. He's got a lot of good content. I love his bluegill content, but the crappie stuff's pretty good too. But as long as he stays out of the water, so the gators don't eat him at that bluegill hole. But yeah, that's really entertaining stuff. I really like that. But definitely share your page and stuff with us, SK. So you can, but definitely if you're down in the Houston area, need a crappie guide, he's your man. And just look him up. He'll hook you up. So and SK, by the way, any chance you're going to be at that Dallas? The Fort Worth National Fishing Show. I know that's a bit of a hike for you, but I've been asking all my Texas guys if they're going to be there, and to a man, they've all said no. I guess Tommy Ezel's going to be there, but but if you are, you should look me up because I'm gonna be hanging out down there. But I know, like I say, I know you're a pretty good, a pretty good hike from Fort Worth, I think. So you'd have to drive almost as far as I I do to get there. But yeah, so anyway, those two guys got together and is a good deal. They're gonna have a great partnership. And then of course you want to check out my my page. So you got my724outdoors.com, brushpilejigs.com, and please do, man. I'd love to meet you. That'd be awesome. So I know I hit Chris up, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna be fishing." He's he's dying to go fishing, right? So, and I think I forget what date he said he could go, but it was very soon. So he said, I'm gonna be too busy fishing. I don't blame him. But and then what else? Oh, and then of course I've got my own Facebook page, Panfish Guy, and I've got a website for that too, panfishguy.com. So, and I've done some updates on that recently too. So it's not not stuff from like 2 years ago. So I've updated some content on there, and also if you're into that sort of thing, I've got a Facebook group called Spider Rigging Everything, and get a little group of helpful guys that you got a question about spider rigging, you're just learning about it. That's the place you want to ask because a lot of knowledgeable guys on there. I pretend to be, but yeah, SK, you still tying stuff? I haven't seen. I haven't. I've been watching your crappie stuff, but I haven't seen you tying much lately. You still tying? SK does his own, makes his own hand tied jigs. Victor's stealing tips from him. All right, guys. As much fun as this is, it's 10 o'clock. Daylight savings time is probably gonna kick my butt trying to go to work tomorrow. So I'm gonna sign off. But y'all have a good evening. SK, thanks for joining. Everybody, thanks for jumping on, and we'll try to do this again in I don't know. Well, um, there a couple weeks ago. Hey, I I told her I was going to order some, but I got to give her cash. So we're almost there, buddy. We'll work on it. Yep, yep. It'll limits tackle stuff, right? But yeah. So pollen, it really started to take off a couple of weeks ago, and then we had like a big storm 2 weekends ago, and then a big cold front, and it was like in the 40s today. It was chilly, so the pollen's kind of paused a little bit. It's not I'm starting to see a couple dogwoods with a couple flowers on them, but it's yeah, they're going real slow, but I know we've got tulip trees out front. It was going crazy. They were going crazy, and then there's all kinds of Bradford pears around here that were blooming. And but yeah, they're kind of slowed down here the last few days. So uh, which is okay. I expected it because it was like it's way too early for all this to be happening, right? So, but anyway, I'm going to call it, guys. Y'all have a good evening. Thanks for joining. I'm headed off to bed. We'll talk to you later.